considering getting a smoker, I'm making this video to maybe help you out. Make the decision. I got this Weber Searwood 600 a year and a half ago. My biggest hesitation was, will I use it enough? A lot of the pellet grills these days are coming out with different options of higher heat cooks and all sorts of functionality. They have inserts and they're really becoming really versatile. So this one, I've been extremely happy with it. I always owned a propane grill or a charcoal grill. Those are great, easy to use. Burgers, hot dogs, chicken breasts, quick and easy, totally understandable. A lot of people are a little hesitant to get a pellet grill because they may not think they have the time to devote to it. They think, oh, I don't have all day to cook a piece of meat. But realistically, for an 8-hour cook, for a pork butt, for example, it's on the grill for 8 hours. You're doing about 30 minutes of work. So a lot of people will even put them on right before they go to bed. It'll roll all night. They wake up and it's good to go. So it can be intimidating for sure, and it takes a little bit of getting used to, maybe a little bit of research, trial and error. But you pick a temperature, it sticks to it. It's that simple. You make sure there's enough pellets in the hopper to last for your cook, and it really opens up the options for you. I mean, the amount of things that I can make now confidently, where I would have never have attempted them in the past, it's really, really a nice option to have. This one, for example, can go 180 degrees for the lowest option, all the way up to 600 degrees. Additionally, it has some manual mode options where it's a constant feed of pellets to maintain a heat, whether you're opening the grill lid very often or not. But the low and slow options are really difficult to mess up. Obviously, meat thermometers are really your friend. You want to keep an eye on that. But it's difficult to overcook something when you're cooking it low and slow. You're just taking the time to let that smoke penetrate the meat, really add an additional layer of flavor that is so worth it. I'll cook ribs for 5 hours. They just get extremely tender. They build an amazing bark, and they get that smoke penetration into the meat. And while I'm doing that, I can toss on some smoked cream cheese as an appetizer, which most people I host have never had it. It's absolutely incredible. It's extremely simple. It's just nice to, toss things on. And for ribs, 5 hours may sound like a long time, but realistically it takes about 20 minutes to prep it, maybe a couple spritzes here and there if you would like to, and then you can wrap it about 3/4 of the way through. That's optional, but it's a lot of different ways to cook food on here, and that's what I really enjoy. I always just did kind of some burgers and dogs and chicken breasts on a propane grill. Nothing wrong with that, but the flavor of the pellets is extremely natural. When you're doing the low and slow cooks, you get that smoky flavor, which is just an additional flavor burst to the meat, and it just enhances everything you eat. My wife really hasn't been a huge fan of like really, really smoky flavors, so you can choose different types of pellets to really determine what type of smoke flavor you're putting into the meat. I personally have always been a fan of the Bear Mountain Barbecue Gourmet Blend. It's a very subtle, natural flavor. It does extremely well with being consistent sized pellets, so there's no clogging, and it can do really well in the low heat as well as the high heats. One tip I like to give for people starting out with a pellet grill is anything between 200 to 300 is a low and slow cook, where you're getting that smoke flavor into the meat and it's making it really tender, really flavorful. Anything between 300 to 400 is acting somewhat as an oven, and you are have the ability to crisp the skin while cooking a little quicker, but still getting some of that smoky flavor. So chicken wings, chicken thighs. I mean, I do chicken thighs for an hour and a half at 350 degrees. They turn out perfect every time. There's no guessing game. With like the propane and the charcoal, you kind of have to gauge the temperature. Things can overcook really easily. It can be inconsistent heat within the whole grill. So that's a really nice aspect to the pellet grills, is you pick a temperature, it sticks at it. You can usually monitor things on the app, adjust things on the app, and anything over 400 degrees and more, it's essentially grilling. You're still going to get a little smoke flavor, obviously not as much as the low temperatures where it has more time to sit in a thicker area of smoke. So you're going to have less smoke the higher the heat, but it's really nice to have different options. This one has a lot of different insert options as well as temperature options. So I have a griddle insert here, which allows me to, raise the heat, get a nice char. I can do smash burgers, reverse seared steaks, pancakes, bacon and eggs, whatever it may be. It's really nice to have a lot of options. Like I said, my hesitation was, will I use a smoker enough? I see a lot of people buying a Traeger. They'll use it for ribs, pork butt, brisket. That's about it. I've really been surprised and blown away with the amount of things I can cook on here. Even when it's the same thing, you can cook it differently or try different methods. It's just, it opens up your ability to cook different things. It may take a little bit getting used to, maybe some more patience than you're familiar with, but I would highly suggest trying it, especially the options where they have the low and slow as well as the higher heat. A lot of the newer Traegers are building that in just because it seems to be the way to go. You get one grill, utilize it for everything. I would highly suggest this Weber Searwood if you're considering. I was really leaning towards the Traegers personally, but I took a risk on getting this about a year and a half. It was a brand new Weber option. Their previous smoke fire did not perform very well, so I was a little hesitant. There was also not a lot of videos on this, which made me a little nervous, but the few that I did see gave excellent reviews, and I can say confidently after using this for a year and a half, this is a 10 out of 10 grill. So amazing that after I purchased it, they raised the price on it because it came so popular and proved to be truly just an amazing pit. So my last point I would like to make on a pellet grill is the only difference between a propane and charcoal typical grill, you typically just clean the grates and keep cooking. These, you do kind of have to take them apart and clean out the pellet dust. It takes a little bit more maintenance, but it's really simple. Don't let it intimidate you or talk you out of getting one, because it is highly worth it. I did not even assemble this. I got free assembly from where I purchased it from, and still have zero issues with removing the components to getting it cleaned inside. Super simple, makes it just function extremely well. I've never had any issues with this clogging or not getting up to temperature. A charcoal grill, people are like, oh, or a propane grill, either one, I can just get it up running in 10 or 15 minutes and I'm cooking. This is the same. This pellet grill, you plug it in, you pick a temperature, 15 minutes, it's good to go. And it's maintaining that heat. It's not fluctuating. You don't have to continuously adjust things. It's really nice. So if you're on the fence, do it. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm happy to help, and it'll be well worth it.